Hi guys. So I really feel you wanna call your sorry. I'm doing a new piece as you can tell. I feel like it's time for you to call your masculine. Your inner masculine. Take whatever resonates, okay, for switch the rules. This year eclipse is coming, okay? And you know how much I love eclipses. It's not like okay, you know that the moon comes and hides things and there are a lot of secrets and nobody knows what's going on and you go like, does he love me? Does she love me? Blah, 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 you know? The moon is like, I'm gonna hide the light of the sun and I'm gonna make this very like confusing and so you start to question, does this person love me? Am I seeing reality? Am I being delusional? Like, do the things I think about are real? Are they meant to be? Am I in the right path? Right? The moon tends to do such things. And yet, I feel like this eclipse is not only about that, right? It's about the completion, the meeting of two lovers, right? The day and the night, the illusion and the clarity, right? The truth. So like I feel like it's time for you to call your I'm just gonna call it inner masculine, okay? And obviously it depends where you stand, right? Maybe you are being too delusional, too dreamy, too airy fairy, right? So you wanna call your masculine your doer, right? Your like earthly reality back on. But if you're too much in reality and you feel like you're not connecting with your intuition, you're not like receiving gifts, right? If you're not in your feminine side, maybe you want to connect with your feminine, right? Depends on wherever you are, right? We hold both. We know. The universe holds both, and the boths are gonna be together, okay? Take whatever resonates. So I feel like maybe you're single, or if you are in a relationship, you're kind of feeling single. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Like it's just this like I feel like you are little about relationships, right? Because I feel like okay, you have two minds, right? I feel you have two minds. You can like be in the physical world, right? In the masculine, be in the physical world, super connected with the earth and like have relationships like everybody else has, right? But at the same time, I feel like you are super connected with the cosmos, right? Super connected with heaven, I want to say. And you know why you meet people you meet. You know why circumstances end up being like that, right? So like you're kind of performing two roles where it's kind of like Jesus, right? Jesus was like all unconditional love, confirmation, all unconditional love, all like goodness of the heart, all like this, I embrace everyone, right? But at the same time, he was gonna go to the market and like ruin everything, right? Uh, he would get angry about the greed of man, right? Just like God created this beautiful environment for us, right? And he has unconditional love for all of us, all of his creatures, and all his other beings, right? From other dimensions. But at the same time, he can break all of it, right? I feel like I mentioned this and it doesn't matter. He can like ruin the world, right? We have this in nature, like nature is so bountiful, so abundant, so giving, so like ever growing, evergreen, right? But at the same time, it can create fires to like purify it, to purify itself, right? It can like create earthquakes in order to purify itself from the energies we as humans are giving to it, right? It's like a natural process. And what was I going with this? Yeah, so even if your human self wants to have relationships, right, and make them perfect and whatever, I feel like that at this time you're very, very, very concerned about making yourself perfect, right? Because I feel like that's where change comes from. And so at this time I feel like you're very much concerned with balance, right? More than being good, have to say, right? I did this 2 messages ago. I was like, it was like little it was a message kind of like you must like bring the lessons to the ones who have not learned, right? And I feel like this is so like significative here because sometimes creating balance is also like destruction, right? It's also destruction. I don't know if it's anything that it's new to you, right? I feel like none of this is new to you. And so you want to balance those two polarities within you to go to something new, right? To go to something new. But at the same time, you know, that something new is not really here, right? Which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird, right? Because everything was written, and yet there's so much to come. There's so much like plot twists for you to experience, right? Feel like your horse hasn't stopped moving, okay? You were trying to put it on the stable, take whatever resonates. You were trying to put this wild horse in the stable because it was creating like too much things, right? This message is all about balance, okay, guys? All about balance, not like my mother used to say, not too much to the earth and not too much to the water, right? Which in Portuguese is like nem tanta terra, nem tanta água, nem tanta terra. She used to say like this, right? And so I feel like, although this is beyond the water and the earth, because it holds fire, it holds ether, it holds so many elements here, okay? You are really going through this process of balance in order to reach higher places, okay? And if that means that you must let go of this 3D world for a little bit, okay? Because again, all is necessary, all is needed, all is super like important, right? And we figured it out, this all is super important. And that is why like not so much spiritually is coming towards you, okay? Because I feel like you have to integrate all of this, right? And you know that spirit is doing it for you. You know God is doing it for you. You know, I don't know, when you integrate it, right, it comes to the point where, yeah, you can call it other names, right? You can call it through other names. You can go through other tradition and learn through different language, right? But it's all the same. It always has been the same ever since you were born, right? It goes on evolving, it goes on changing, it goes on the new and the new and the new and the new. But that new is always who you always were, but in a different language, if this makes sense, right? So if you have to let go a little, right, of the 3D in order to tune yourself. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this because you have to let go both and you have to grab on to both. Yeah, I'm gonna stop my message here because this is getting super complicated because it's everything at the same time, right? What was, what it's meant to be, what is meant to be, it's what was. Uh, I love it so much, so much. Hope you understand this message. Hope this makes sense to you. If it did, or if you have anything to add, put on the comments. And that's it. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you so much for your donations. Thank you so much for visiting my shops. Okay, I love it so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.